Thank you for tuning in to another episode of CORT Workplace Talks. I'm your host, Melanie Jones. Not too long ago, I got a call from two court leaders out on the West Coast, Shannon Miles and Lisa Campbell. And they had just had a great lunch with Irene Thomas Johnson, who is not only an IFMA crusader, but also a global account manager for JLL. Court and JLL work together quite a bit across the country, and we're starting to do more work with work dynamics. So I thought a conversation with Irene would be just perfect to capture her thoughts on what's happening not only at JLL, the workplace, their client environment, but also IFMA, and her take on Court's furniture as a service, an on-demand subscription model that's solving all kinds of challenges. So I hope you enjoy this piece as much as I have, and have a wonderful day.
Well, Irene, thank you so much for joining the CORT Workplace Talks with me this morning. We have started these workplace talks so that we can share some of the current trends that are happening, but also to tell the stories of what our customers are experiencing, your thoughts and ideas of the future. So I wanted to mention and say thank you to Shannon Miles and Lisa Campbell on our team who introduced me to you because as I read your background, I'm like, wow, you're such an interesting person. So let's just start with sharing a little bit about what your role at JLL is, what your day-to-day is all about.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Melanie. So I am with JLL. I've been here with JLL for 10 years. My current role is global account executive. So I work with a global technology firm and am really the relationship manager with that firm on a day-to-day basis. And I manage teams across the globe, namely in LATAM, the Americas, and then also in APAC. And we have a great relationship with this particular client, so I truly enjoy working with them every day. Amazing team members that I work with, and they make my job very, very easy. But day to day, helping this particular client with, strategy, with their ongoing operations, especially in this time when so many companies out there are really looking at their portfolio and trying to optimize. And so we're, doing what we can to help inform the business using technology, which translates in data analytics to help them inform their business moving forward. So my day is different every day, but I truly enjoy it, and I truly enjoy being in a global role because I get to see my teams in action, across the globe, in different regions, different countries, and every place is different. So that's why I really truly like what I do on a daily basis.
Yeah, I bet you find some learnings from one country to another, what's happening and being able to cross-pollinate those ideas a little bit.
I do, especially with, you know, we've all been talking about COVID for so long and coming out of that and return to work and hybrid and that hybrid space that we're in now means something so different than it does in the US as it does in Latin America or Australia or any place in Europe or any place in Asia. It just means something totally different. So it's very interesting to see how the world is dealing with that and how it can be so very different depending on what country you're in, and sometimes even what city you're in.
True,
So yeah.
true.
Mhm.
Do you think that, there's so much talk in the media and stuff about not returning to work, returning to work? I mean, do you get a sense that, yes, most companies do want employees back at least for some period of time, or is there really talk about like, we don't need to come to an office?
It depends on the company and the industry that they're in. Everybody is looking at it a little different and through a different lens. But I think the most important part is that what we've learned is you have to give, your employees some flexibility, right? Employees want to manage their time and manage their life, and balance that life with work. And so I think the companies that are going to be successful are those that truly look at that, and they may want their employees to come back to work, which, if you own a lot of real estate, that absolutely makes sense. But also you need to understand what's going to bring people back. And what used to bring people into the office isn't probably what's bringing them into the office now. So it's going to be a pretty big challenge, and one that my company certainly is working with a number of clients about, currently. And we've done a tremendous amount of research around that. So I think it's going to be a really interesting time in the next few years.
Yes, and don't you feel that more and more companies are turning to JLL, CBRE as well, and Cushman and all for the strategic guidance because things have gotten so complicated in some ways, like managing the portfolio, the actual space, and then all the things that go with that? Do you see it like kind of an uptick in companies turning to y'all for expertise?
I do. I absolutely do. And I think it's, not only, as you mentioned, our competitors, but for us in particular, we're finding that it really is something that companies are turning to us for, and helping to inform them, help guide them in some cases, help, understand what they can do in this new world that we're living in, and also looking at technology and how technology is going to enable, those companies to bring their their valuable employees back to work. And what we're finding is that it's a combination of, technology, the space, and yep, the amenities, but it's more about the technology and the space that you're coming back to, and also giving, employees a reason why they should leave their homes to go back to an office space. So yes, to answer your question, they are turning to us for that guidance. Yes.
Yeah, that's terrific. Um, let's see. One time I saw an org chart of a work dynamics team, and it really was so intriguing because there was a lot of people doing a lot of different things. Like some folks that may not be as familiar with JLL and CBRE and the level of expertise that you bring, but it's not just a broker and a property manager. There's a lot to it, right? Just the
There,
amount of people on an account.
There absolutely is. Oftentimes our clients, they probably have their own workplace team, and they probably, have their own sustainability team, and they, technology and so forth. But we supplement that, and we provide thought leadership and insight. Also, I go back to data analytics. It's all about the data that you can get out of the technology that you're using. And our teams are enabling our clients to be able to do that, and then to use that data to help inform the business. So you're absolutely right. There's so much to what we do, and it's not just property management or facilities management or brokerage. It's very, very holistic in what we offer, and also in what we can do to help inform the business.
Okay, that's great. I think that's helpful for listeners to just to get the sense of all encompassing and clients that are worldwide and leadership and so forth. So I wanted to switch to a different subject that I know you love,
Sure.
and that's IFMA. So Court and JLL are obviously active in IFMA, but I know you in particular are a leader and believe in the benefits and the offerings that IFMA has to offer. Like that hasn't changed tremendously over the last 10 years, has it? Where are we at with IFMA?
Yeah, so I've been a member of IFMA for most of my career. I am super engaged because I am passionate about it. I'm passionate about facilities management and ensuring that we pave the way for the new facility managers that are coming behind me. I was very fortunate to sort of fall into this business many years ago, and today, the same people. that are in my shoes today that I was in many, many years ago, they're getting training. They have a lot at their disposal as opposed to just falling into a career. You can actually, get a jump on that career by the training that IFMA offers, by the interactions it offers and the engagement it offers, with other peers in the same space. So I am currently a board of trustee member for the IFMA Foundation. My company, JLL, is a global workforce initiative advisor. And the reason that we did that is we understand the need to bring in new, fresh, talented people into this industry. And the way that we're doing it is we partnered with IFMA and the IFMA Foundation to really gain insight and gain access to amazing talent around the world. So I'm passionate about it. I could talk about it all day long. And also the other thing I'll let you know is I am now an adjunct professor, and I'm actually teaching the essentials of facilities management. So you can tell that I'm passionate about this space. Yes.
Oh my gosh, yes. And I was just curious. I was like, well, wonder why Irene invests so much in IFMA when you're already covered up in your primary role. But it sounds like because it's a mutually beneficial engagement. Not to mention, I think I can see it's pretty obvious. It's near and dear to your heart.
Yeah, and I was speaking with somebody recently, and I said, it doesn't feel like work when you really love what you do, and you really can see what impact it's going to make on people coming into the profession. Why wouldn't you do it? So I love it, and I will continue doing it as long as I can, and really enticing people to come into this field that has been absolutely great to me.
That's right. So you're speaking on a panel in California, aren't you, coming up in March?
I
Tell us about that.
am. Yeah. So my chapter, San Fernando Valley chapter, we're in the San Fernando Valley in California. We've teamed up with the Los Angeles chapter along with IREM, and we're going to be hosting a panel to talk about women in CRE. And so I'm going to be actually one of the panelists, and it's going to be great. This is the second time that we've done this. The first time it was we got a great turnout. People were really, really interested in the topic. And I can't wait to be on this second round of the panel, which will be happening in March. Yes.
That's very good. Okay. One of the things that I spent the last year or so doing was traveling around the country, meeting with JLL project management teams and sharing information about CORT's furniture as a service model. And one of the things that I found is that people right now are so interested in learning new things because the world's changing so quickly. So whether it's learning about our on-demand subscription offering, or it's going to an IFMA event you haven't been to before, or you're a corporation thinking, geez, maybe I should tap into JLL Work Dynamics and find out what value that can bring to our company. Like, it's a time of change. And so I commend you and myself too for, getting out there and saying, hey, there's other ways to accomplish things. Do you, just kind of circling back to the business side of things, do you see common challenges that our businesses are facing right now, especially as it comes to that, what you referred to as needing flexibility? Or is it, what's the answer on that?
Yeah, I do think so. I mean, I think we're all companies out there that we're helping, including my own company. We're
Mm-hmm.
all I don't know if worried is the right word, but using this as an opportunity to really understand, what the talent needs that works for our company, right? And how do we entice them to come back? And so I think that is one of the challenges that we're all facing. And part of that challenge is, what are you doing about that? Is it the technology? And the answer is yes, that's a big part of it. But also, the space, and just giving your employees options. And I think that's
Yeah.
all that, we can do these days. But I do think that we all are facing those same challenges, some more so than others, depending on the industry you're in, because you might, need every single employee to be at the workplace every single day, and that also has its challenges. And then companies like ours, like mine, that offer many, many different services, where some of them you don't need to be in an office because you're always on the road and you're always with clients, or you can be virtual. And then others in the facilities management space absolutely have to be there. So again,
Yeah, that's
I think we're all facing those same challenges.
I think it's interesting for people say in my role where it's a high level sales role, and travel has always been part of what we do. It's nice to have improved technology, like
Yes.
even people who haven't changed how they work, the technology is making it better and easier and those kind of things. Um, so we haven't ever worked directly on a product with or project with Court's offering, but I think you're a believer in this idea of flexible furniture to support the initiatives and thinking of companies. When you say it's you can see a place for it.
Yeah, I absolutely do. I think we have to, look more at the flexibility and sort of the short term of it. I mean, one thing that I personally have found, throughout the last 4 years that we've been in this situation that I've never seen in my lifetime, um, is you absolutely have flexibility because you don't know what honestly is going to be happening in the near future. So I think the offering is absolutely needed, and am looking forward to getting more involved and getting more information.
Okay, yeah, that sounds really good. Um, so I guess what is the favorite part of your job? We're going to make this kind of a short conversation because I know you're busy, but what is
Sure.
the favorite part of your job, and what do you see yourself doing, say, like the next 3 years?
Yeah, the favorite part of my job is working with people who share the same vision and share the same passion. Um, people that are open to new ideas, and not every idea is going to be able to play out, right? But it's those people that I enjoy working with who are open to those ideas. And then in the business that I'm in, we service clients. And what's really important to me is working with clients that, one, have a vision, who are open to possibilities. And what that's why I'm here, and that's what I truly, truly love. And then on the other side of what I do, it's not my full-time job or my day job, is working on my passion, which is training and mentoring the next facility managers who are going to come behind me.
Yeah,
So that keeps me here. What I see myself doing in the next 3 years, I see myself evolving from where I am in my current role, to something even bigger that can help multiple clients. And then in the passion that I have for facilities management, I'm going to keep teaching. I'm going to keep mentoring, and that's where I see myself in 3 years, is helping even more people, live the dream that I have. Honestly,
yeah.
I know it sounds cliche, but it really isn't. I really have truly enjoyed the opportunity that this career has afforded me, and I've taken my career in many different directions, and it's been great. So I want to share that with as many people as I can, and get as many people interested in this career.
I think that's wonderful, and what you will train will probably continue to evolve too. I heard something it was talking about how do managers of teams, how do they automatically know how to now manage a remote team
Yeah.
when, like that's just an example of the kind of issues that we'll probably see over the next few years as things settle down to what the new norm is. And so I'm sure that you will be out and about
Yeah.
sharing the wisdom and teaching. Um, and any last words for listeners of just encouragement or wisdom or anything like that?
I think, last words for me would be, just be open and just be flexible. I mean, things are always changing. I mean, as fast as technology changes, our world will be changing. And so I think if we can just be open and flexible and see change as a challenge and an opportunity, not something, to be afraid of, is the advice that I would give. Yeah,
That's wonderful.
yeah.
So Irene, we'll have a blog that goes with this, and we'll make sure that we put information about the upcoming California IFMA event
Mhm.
that you're
Oh,
speaking on,
good.
as well
Good.
as your LinkedIn profile, to encourage those especially interested in IFMA to reach out and connect with you.
Okay. Thank you, Melanie. Thank you for the opportunity. Okay.
Absolutely.